What's up, Van Canners? Nick here. Now, guess what? The new GoPro is out. And I just had to buy one because, well, I make videos for you guys. So, this is actually the first GoPro I ever got. It's how I started my channel. This is the GoPro Hero 5. It was okay. It got me going. The audio wasn't that good. The stabilization without a gimbal wasn't that good. But the video was pretty good. And when I put it in the camera grip, the video was actually great. Just the only thing was the audio. I could never get the audio to sound even... It sounded okay, but just... Then the Hero 6 came out, and it was also just kind of okay. It wasn't a big enough step up for me to even buy it. Then this came out, the GoPro Hero 7, and that's the one where they put in Hyper Smooth. Now, that was a bit of a game changer in that finally you didn't need a gimbal. You could actually just wear it chest mounted, wear it on the helmet, and it was actually watchable. Now, I still used the Hero 7 in the gimbal. This is the GoPro Karma grip on the GoPro Chesty. This is just how it all mounts together. It has a little GoPro mount here, and I would wear it on my chest. I put the Hero 7 in here, and away I'd go. Now, the video and the audio from the GoPro Hero 7 in the GoPro Karma grip, that was actually great. No complaints really. The only thing that was annoying is having to actually wear this big thing. But because it was also a battery, it kept the GoPro charged. I could film for like 4 or 5 hours without doing anything, without changing an SD card, without changing the battery. It made things super convenient. But with the Hero 7, their biggest claim was it was a gimbal killer, and it wasn't really for me. I didn't use it without a gimbal until I had to in the EWS race because chest mounts aren't allowed. But when I finally bought this helmet, the Fox Pro Fame, I put a little chin mount on, I put the GoPro Hero 7 in here, and I started using Hypersmooth, and honestly, it's like, 90% of the video quality for a gimbal for me, and the audio is a little better because the little door is actually shut, and it's so much more convenient not to have to wear the chest mount. It's on your helmet, you barely even notice it. I actually really like doing this, and it also points where you point. That's just another thing that I really like. So I'm pretty sold on the chin mount. I really like the chin mount. I really want to use it all the time. But right now, if I want the best video possible, I still think it's the GoPro Karma grip. Now along comes the Hero 8, the star of the show. And the biggest thing that you're gonna notice is really it looks that tiny bit different. So maybe you won't notice. I mean, can you tell the difference between the two? The GoPro Hero 8 is, it's pretty much the same color. The only thing is it's a tiny bit bigger, taller. I think it's taller and thinner. There's only 2 physical changes that are worth noting, and that's the mounts are now on the bottom here, and you just flip them out. I really like that. That's a nice little handy feature. Not something I'd go and buy a Hero 8 for, but it's nice that they have it. But then you trade off not having this little protective lens be able to come off. It's all one piece. I guess you have to send it back to GoPro to get it fixed, and I don't like that at all. If I smash that, I can't just replace it for 20 bucks like I could before. So that's kind of annoying, and that's something where the Hero 7 is obviously better. It's also supposed to be a tiny bit lighter, so if you're wearing it on your chin, yeah, I guess the Hero 8 will be a little bit better. Now when it comes to video, the biggest reason I bought the GoPro Hero 8 is because there's Hypersmooth 2.0. Not the boost, but just the regular sort of Hypersmooth on, the second iteration. And I'm hoping that this is, improved to the point where the chin mount is just, instead of being 90% of the gimbal, maybe it's 95% now. And it just is so close to being the gimbal, I may as well just always use the chin mount. Like I said, I love the chin mount. It's so much easier to deal with than having the stupid, all of this going on. So today what I want to do is like a real world test. Basically compare the setups that I'd actually use, how I'd actually use them. That's the GoPro Hero 7 in the Karma grip versus the GoPro Hero 8 mounted on my chin. And basically that's what I'm gonna have to choose from. Since the GoPro Hero 8 doesn't fit in the Karma grip anymore, I have to chin mount it. And if I'm gonna use the gimbal, well, I have to use the Hero 7. So that's why we have Hero 7 in the gimbal, Hero 8 on the chin. And now let's go compare them. Actually, wait. First, let me tell you my settings and show you just the only little trick that I do that changes these GoPros a little bit. Okay, so the first little trick I do is I buy one of these wind slayers. This is actually for the Hero 4. I buy them off Amazon, and I just cut them up. I cut out the back, I cut out the side, cut out wherever I need to. just to fit it over the GoPro that I have now, either the 8 or the 7 or whatever. They're super stretchy, so they stretch over the whole case and everything. And this cuts down on wind noise a ton. And that's why I can use the stereo only mode, which I'll talk about in a second here. If you're filming mountain biking and you're filming anything and you have a GoPro, get one of these little wind covers, cover it up, use the stereo only mode. Audio is so much better. Definitely worth the, $5 or $8 I paid for this. I mean, it is just a piece of foam, but still, totally worth it. So before we go, let's just talk about the settings that I actually use. So on both the cameras, basically what I'm gonna do is go 24 frames a second, 4K resolution, super view, but hyper smooth 2.0 on the GoPro Hero 8, and no stabilization, no in-camera stabilization for the GoPro Hero 7. We're gonna use the gimbal for the stabilization on that one. Then for color, basically I shoot flat, I shoot in the native ISO, I put ISO min at 100, I put ISO max at 6400. Basically that's just the limits for the ISO. I put it to the biggest range that I can. I put the EV compensation at -0.5, and even that might be a bit too bright, maybe even -1 might be better. Sharpness, low. Color profile, low. Raw audio, medium. And I put the mics, like I said, in stereo, so it's never putting that wind filter on. If you're not using a GoPro, wind slayer, then yeah, the wind filter actually works really well. Since I use the wind cover, it cuts out all the wind noise already for me, and I get the best audio by having it on the stereo only mics. And new for the GoPro Hero 8 is the high bitrate. It makes huge files, but I think the video actually looks noticeably better. Well, at least on my 4K monitor. I don't know if looking at your phone you'll actually notice, but why not put out the best video I can? Okay, so that's it. Basically, I'm gonna get the video clips, bring them into DaVinci Resolve, a free editing program if you wanna check it out, and maybe do a bit of color correction, add some sharpness, and upload it to YouTube, which you're gonna watch right now. So let's go take a look at that. Let's see the video, tell me what you think. Let's talk about it in the comments. Okay, let's go for real. Okay, so I've got the GoPro Hero 8 on my chin mount and the GoPro Hero 7 on my gimbal. So these are basically the two setups that I said I'm going to compare, because these are the two setups that I would actually use. Should I just be using the chin mount in the Hero 8 because it is so convenient and it's just so nice not to wear this whole get up here? Or is it still worth it to wear the gimbal, use the Hero 7, and get that, that super smooth GoPro footage? So I'm gonna go down my local trail, we'll take a look, and we'll also compare the audio too. I think the Hero 8 audio is supposed to be slightly better, so let's try that. All right, so it has been raining, and it is greasy out. So I'm gonna take it pretty easy and not just charge through everything. Like I would normally try to. Oh, it's these spots. Whoa! Anytime there's just enough leaves on the ground to make it slippery. Oh, I also don't want to splash on the GoPro, so I'm gonna go really slow through the water. Hi, just me. So unfortunately with these kind of tests, I can't really tell if one's going better than the other because I can't see it. I'll have to wait till I get home and I check the footage on my computer. Oh, wet wood, tons of leaves. Oh. This would look really cool if the leaves were dry. Just going down the trail pretty fast, all these colors. So I've got the GoPro Hero 8 basically in the settings I would use if I was filming. I think that's the key here. All these extra settings like the hyper smooth boost and using even the linear modes or anything like that, it's just not something I'm going to end up ever using really. So probably not going to compare them. Didn't use them on the Hero 7, not going to use them on the Hero 8. Because if I'm going to vlog or anything like that, then I bring out the big camera. It's just worth it. Let's try going around. So it's pretty dim right here. Oh. Not a lot of light. And that's where the Hyper Smooth really struggles. And the gimbal really does well. Well, it doesn't do well, but it makes the biggest difference is in those low light situations. Woo! Wow, it is so slippery out. Alright, so this has been basically my real world GoPro test. I'm basically testing the two setups I would actually use. So that's the GoPro Hero 8 in the chin mount, Hyper Smooth on, versus the GoPro Hero 7 in the GoPro Karma grip. No Hyper Smooth, because the gimbal's doing all that Hyper Smoothing for me. And let's just see how they look. Which one did you guys like? And is there anything else about the Hero 8 that you want me to do? I could compare all those other settings if you guys are interested, but I think if you're a mountain biker or you're going to be using GoPro for action sports, this is all you really care about, and all that other stuff is just extra, maybe for the family vacation. So let me know in the comments, which view do you prefer, the gimbal or the chin mount, and which camera do you prefer, the Hero 8 or the Hero 7? And with that, I'll see you guys in next week's video.